Hello there, and welcome back to day 25. I can't believe it. We've just got 5 more days to go in our 30 days of energy boosting tips for breast cancer survivors. I'm your host of this video series, Karen Del Maestro, your self-care coach, breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver, and I am thrilled to have you here with me. And today we're talking about how reading the right kind of book can improve and boost your energy. Now, you may be there thinking, Karen, reading? Seriously? That sounds like it's going to be exhausting no matter what. And I will share with you that, as I was going through my own breast cancer journey, and I'm an avid reader, I love to read, I love to research. Especially when it comes to our health and well-being, as a health coach, that is something I do constantly. And so I had a whole bunch of books on how to heal from breast cancer naturally, on all of these wonderful stories of previous breast cancer survivors. And what I quickly realized was, number one, I had trouble retaining information from one reading session to the next with the brain fog, right? That's a reality of what so many of us are dealing with. I found that the reading was actually making me more tired than it was benefiting me. This is what happens when we have the awareness, right? And I found that my brain was just starting to spin, which again was making me tired. So what I realized was, and by the way, it's just popped into my head. I have to share it. I remember, like, after my double mastectomy and my T-Rex arms that we have, because with lymph node removal, and my breast tissue actually went around under my arms and around my back a little bit. So I had T-Rex arms. I couldn't move my arms easily, and even holding a book was a challenge. So I ended up getting a stand, and I used my Kindle at the time versus holding a book. I don't know about you, but I prefer holding the book and the paper than the Kindle. There's just something about it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are you a book or a Kindle person? Yeah, let me know. So anyway, this is what I realized, because when I went to do this 30 days of energy boosting tips, and I was thinking about what can be an act of self-care, right, that we do. And picking up a book and reading it is for us. It's for nobody else, right? It's for us. And that makes it an act of self-care. But in order for it to be true self-care, we need it to energize us versus deplete us. If it's depleting us, that's not self-care. It's the opposite. And so it got me to thinking, right, about, okay, it's all about what we choose to read, not the act of reading itself. So here are my tips. Okay, this is what has worked for me, and I'm hoping it's going to work for you too. First of all, we want to be mindful about the time of day that we're reading, right? If you are typically a nighttime reader, picking up a book before you go to bed, I doubt that you're even going to get a paragraph in before you're going to pass out, because we're already fatigued, right? And we get to the end of the day, and for most of us, we're even more tired at that point. For me, picking up a book, forget about it. That's not going to work. So choosing the time of day. And for me, I actually like to sit down in the morning with a cup of coffee and read a book for a little while. That's the time that it's helpful for me. So that's number one, is choosing your time of day carefully. Number two, choosing your book itself, the topic of your book that brings you joy. That's the tricky one, right? Because I'm sure, like me, you've got a bunch of books that were either gifts or you bought them for yourself to read about your breast cancer. But I invite you to think of this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, I geek out on it all the time. But when we are talking about reading for energy, it shifts our intention with this action. And so the question becomes, if you're reading for more energy, you want something that's going to uplift you. And so what might that be? That might be a summer romance type book, one of those beach reads. Love those. They're fun, they're easy, they're normally written very simply, not a bunch of characters to try and keep track of, things like that. There's normally pivotal central characters. You may choose to go down a personal growth route with your reading. Personal growth and development junkie over here too. And some of my faves there are people like Brene Brown or Gabby Bernstein. There's a whole bunch of them. But with those kinds of books, and I know Brene does this brilliantly, is they tend to be very short chapters, very short paragraphs, where you can read a little bit, grasp some information, uplifting information, right? And take that with you. And so you're not like trying to always follow through. For instance, if you were reading a thriller or a mystery, like you need to recall information from earlier in the book. And this is not your fault, but most of us are dealing with some kind of brain fog, right, from our breast cancer. And so, again, choosing the kind of book that we're reading, think about, is it serving you? Or is it making you frustrated because you can't remember? If we're frustrated, our energy is going down, not up. So again, looking at the book, does it have short paragraphs? Does it have short chapters? Can I read for 10 minutes and that's enough for me to leave it and walk away with something? I love books like that. And I know, Brene Brown does a great job with that. And if you have not read it, The Gifts of Imperfection are so enlightening. Again, that's The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Love it, love it, love it. Another thing might be to find some poetry, right? Something that's small and concise. They may be cards that you pick up to read that are cards of affirmations. But think about what kind of reading brings you joy. Really important. Really, really important. Okay. So as we start to have this awareness of what makes us tired, then we get to choose to stop doing it or stop doing it as much or reevaluate how we do it so that we don't get so tired. And talking of stopping doing things, this is exactly what I'm going to be covering in my brand new masterclass coming up on October 30th. So if you're watching the replay, I'm sorry if you missed it. Hopefully it'll be a masterclass that I'm repeating. But let's talk about reclaiming your energy after breast cancer and the 3 things that you can stop doing to help get you there. Okay, let's stop doing the stuff that's making us tired. Let's look at how we can switch things around so that we're choosing energy boosting activities and mindsets versus depleting ones, right? We get to control those things. That's the great news. And I've had so much practice on it. So I can't wait to share all of my inside tips with you in this masterclass, Reclaim Your Energy After Breast Cancer. So I'll make sure that you have the link under this video to register for that class. But let's just do a quick recap, right, of what we talked about today for today's energy boosting tips. We want to make sure that if you love reading and it's something that you want to be continuing to do because it is something that you love to do, I invite you to consider the time of day that you're doing it. Maybe you just need to move it. If you're normally a nighttime reader, maybe you need to do it earlier in the day. Choose your topic wisely. Is it a topic that makes you feel good and excites you, or is it one that depletes you? And it's hard because if we are, especially this month of October and with all of the pink everywhere, it's already a month that can be quite challenging. So why read then something that's adding to that challenge? It's not serving you. It's not serving you. When we are forcing ourselves to read something because we think that we should, we're not going to retain the information. It's going to exhaust us. And we're just putting ourselves through something that we don't have to do. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then I invite you to try something new, like try a new topic, try a new direction of reading, try a new author, ask your friends, get some recommendations. Sometimes our breast cancer journey is an opportunity for us to try some new things, right? To learn about doing things differently, to really get in touch with what's serving us and what isn't. And that's an amazing opportunity because when we learn those things, we take them with us. It's not just through the rest of our recovery, but we take them on with us for the rest of our lives. Pretty cool, if you ask me, right? So that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to read the right kind of book at the right time of day for you. Not your friend, not your sister, not your aunt, not your spouse or your partner. For you. Because if it doesn't work for you, it's not serving you. It's not doing you any good. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I will see you back here tomorrow. Don't forget to register for the masterclass. Space is limited, and I want to make sure that you guys get a front row seat. So don't forget to register for that today, and I will see you tomorrow, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, if you're watching live. Okay, bye for now. Have an amazing Monday. Make it a good one. Bye.